you need tonight. A little something to whet your appetite, and it's gonna make you feel alright. Sweet Gravy and Carmen Kirk, check them out as they go to work. Congratulations on your new podcast. Now open up a can of whoop ass and blast, blast, blast. This is Angelo, and I hope you like this show. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh. Carmen, welcome back to another episode of Sweet Gravy.
How you doing?
I'm good. Doing pretty good, you know. We talked before about Robert Ortega, Rob Chili, and his podcast, Different Beasts.
Yeah.
And he's going strong.
Going strong.
He's going strong. He's still keeping it up, and he releases episodes on Saturdays, which is when we release episodes. We, of course, are on the East Coast.
Yeah, screw you, Robert.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but...
Don't be releasing your shit on our day.
No, it doesn't matter. But we release in the morning. He goes through the afternoon. What I was saying is, if you want a doubleheader of some nice little podcasts, don't forget to check out Rob Chili.
Yeah, check out Rob Chili.
Different Beast.
Rob, you better not be putting your shit on our day.
Huh? No, I like it. Robert, it's great. I love it.
I liked his interview a lot. I thought he was cool.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. And he's having some nice conversations in there. And basically, he talks about people. Like, each episode is about a person. And he kind of takes a deep dive into the people. And, yeah, it's a cool premise. And, yeah. I enjoy the things that I've heard from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we've had I don't think we've had a crazy week. I think it's always interesting.
Oh, and
Oh, okay.
this
I'm
week's
sorry.
apparel.
Kirk's promoting right now.
This week's apparel brought to you by Sarton Construction, based out of Bozeman, Montana.
Hey boy, hey.
Hey boy, hey.
You know, it's funny. I said that to one of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say his name, but I was talking to one of my friends today,
Right.
and I said, "Hey, boy, hey."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "What was that about?" That's
Right.
kind of weird. And I was like, I talked to all my girlfriends, and I said,
like,
"Hey, girl, hey."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, but that's a little bit too feminine for me." And
Yeah.
I was like, "You need to drop this feminine
Hey
masculine
boy,
stuff."
hey. You know, you don't talk the same way you did whenever I first met you. You
don't think so?
No, because whenever we first met, you used to tell me I look like a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why does this girl say I look like a bag of chips?
Like a snack.
I said, yeah, but I didn't realize that a bag of chips was a snack, you know?
Well, what do you think it is? A meal?
Well, I mean, it's part of a meal, you know? It's like a lunch, you know? Eat a sandwich and a bag of chips. Like, I'm the side piece? Like, you calling me a bag of chips? Like, what's going on?
A bag of chips is a snack.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I had never actually heard anybody be referred to as a snack before,
Yeah.
right? Like, I had never heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a
so-
snack.
yeah.
I never heard it. I missed that.
Yeah.
Probably because I was on Catalina. whenever
I'm
that
like,
became a
yeah,
thing.
you definitely missed that
Yeah.
because even like hanging out with people from the kitchen, it was people from many different races. So it's not a race thing. Like sometimes it might be like slang in the
No, it
black
doesn't have
community.
anything to do.
It had nothing to do with that. It was just you who didn't know what a snack was.
That's right.
Yeah. So funny. Gilbert used to be like, "Boy, you looking like a snack."
Funny.
Yeah, he used to crack me up. He didn't have that, like the friend I was talking to today. Like, oh my God, that's feminine.
He didn't care
like,
about that.
He didn't care about
He
that.
was like, Gilbert is a funny man.
Yeah, he just
Gilbert.
being funny.
Miss you, man.
That's because some guys are secure with who they are. They
Sure.
don't grow up with those things around them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're able to be free and be who they are and like
Right.
have fun and not be like weird.
Yeah.
Like the whole pause thing. Like you say something, and you're like pause.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
That Donnell Rollins pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like pause, son.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to.
Because
do
you
that.
got to separate things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might put in different connotations.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
It's stupid.
It is stupid, but it's like, why? You don't need to say that.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's okay. No one cares.
Right.
I think definitely living here where people are more expressive, they're able to be themselves. Like, it's different. You don't have to be so uptight and weird about what other people are going to think.
You can be who you want to be. And you know who is themselves always?
Me?
No, not you. Mr. Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle. Great
See how I did
segue,
that?
by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, me.
Oh, my God. Think about yourself much, man?
That's so funny. Yeah. Dave Chappelle's in some hot water right now.
Is he, though?
Not
Is he
really.
in hot water?
Not really. I mean, he's lost
So he just...
a little time, maybe a show or two, but like,
No, he didn't. So basically, he signed a deal with Netflix for 5 specials,
right,
right? Mm-hmm. He just completed the last special.
right.
He made a ton of money.
The
off
special
of
was called The Closer.
Yeah, The
which is
Closer.
It's on Netflix right now.
it on Netflix right now. It came out a couple weeks ago, and he kind of just wraps up the previous 4 and kind of addresses the heat that he took for those. Mm-hmm. You know, while trying to explain his point, and also just kind of
Throwing in some jokes.
just throwing in his jokes too, you know?
Yeah.
And people don't like it. A lot of people are saying Netflix should take it down, you know? Just a lot of stuff.
It's a weird one because on one hand, some people were saying, like people who, the blogs and things like that who touch on this type of material were saying, well, he chose to be like the person to speak out on these topics. He could have just been a regular comedian and bring like say whatever you want, but like he chose to like specifically narrow in on these topics,
Right.
And he did.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't get it,
Right.
like, and he won't give that up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a weird one. He says whatever he wants,
He says what he wants, and he believes that he should.
and he's not scared to walk away from money.
Right.
But he's making himself like the martyr. Like comedians need to be able to say whatever they want, and I'm gonna do it. And he's been doing it the whole time. He's never like stopped. Right.
Right. And then whenever they tried to get him to say things that other people wanted,
Yeah.
he gave them back their money.
Mhm.
Right? Mhm. Like that was the whole thing with the Chappelle show.
Yeah. He said, "Okay, I don't need that money,"
Yeah,
and he kept
said-
it moving.
He said that's
And then he came back when he wanted to.
Right.
And still, the people love Dave Chappelle so much that you can't really cancel him.
right.
People are like, now people are attacking the community, the LGBTQ community. Like, you guys are too sensitive and this is unfair. And like, it's just a social media.
I'm pretty
mess.
sure that they filmed a thing that's pretty similar to Dave Chappelle's Block Party. Mm-hmm. They did another one, and I think they just did it maybe a month ago. And I'm interested to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
You know, because Dave Chappelle's Block Party, what was it? They were just there. He did some jokes. It was really like music centric, you know, and it was different because that was after Chappelle's show.
Right.
It was like what came out right after, you know. It's kind of like, I'm not doing the show anymore. I don't even know if the lost episodes had come out yet. I can't remember.
Yeah. It's been so long ago.
But yeah, and then he did that. But I'm interested with the stuff that they're talking about him, you know, making people ruffling so many feathers.
Yeah.
How's that going to turn out? Because if it's not on a streaming service,
Right.
and it's actually has a box office, because Netflix doesn't tell people how many views they get.
Right.
They don't tell people, they'll tell you that something did good, but there's a reason, you know, what is good for Netflix, because all their shows, you know, get like canceled after like 3 seasons or something. It's like the majority of shows end after 3 seasons
Yeah.
on Netflix. Yeah, so we'll see. That'll be like a defining moment to see how many people actually like turn their back on that man.
Yeah, I think a big part of the whole Netflix thing being canceled, part of it is they're getting a lot of these different new up and coming directors and creators from like the Sundance Film Festival and all these different outlets where they find different people. They give them the opportunity because they might like the project, but it's not. After a while, they start comparing the numbers to like a Dave Chappelle. Oh, look at his numbers, and look at, is this worth
Look at
it?
that.
Could
Is
we
it
just
worth
like
it?
we could probably drop this one off, save money on this, put it into. So I think it's a lot of shuffling when it comes to Netflix.
The movie Knives Out is coming out with 2 sequels. And it's a Daniel Craig like detective story. And they paid like a crazy amount of money for the 2 sequels.
Yeah.
And like people were like, it doesn't even make sense. The money that Netflix gives away, it like doesn't make sense because like people look at movies making money on a box office.
Right.
But like how if you already subscribe and they don't do like the premium stuff like Disney Plus does.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, oh, the new Jungle Cruise is out, and you can watch it on Disney Plus if you pay an extra $20.
Right.
You know, they don't do that. It's just always there. And so like, what's the thing that keeps the people every month going on? And why would you give the money to it? Because you have to be on top? I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. I mean, Netflix is definitely convenient. Is right now the app is on my phone. I press one button and I have all this access to. I have this access to all these shows and movies and different experiences just
messing
by
up
clicking
the algorithm.
Yeah,
Oh
I know,
man, I'll turn on
like
the Netflix and I'll be like, oh, I guess I'm watching the Archie show. What's the show called?
Oh,
That
Riverdale.
teeny bopper Riverdale. Yeah. Oh my god.
I love that. But I was the girl who watched Seventh Heaven and like all those shows growing up.
All those WB
I
shows.
didn't get into Dawson's Creek, but I definitely was on Seventh Heaven and
It's
Vampire
funny-
Diaries.
It's
all
funny
that.
because that channel, you know, the WB, it grouped up with UPN. And then it became the CW. And you still love the CW shows.
I like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I like Boy Meets World. Like, and then even when they came out with the new one, I had to watch a little bit to see what that was about.
Girl
Like,
Meets World?
Girl Meets World. I
With
had to see-
Topanga and Corey's daughter?
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
to check that out a little. So yeah, I definitely watch all those little cheesy girly shows for sure.
I know, like the end of Boy Meets World, Topanga, she had, you know,
What?
Topanga at the end of Boy Meets World,
She was hot.
she downslipped a little bit. But then whenever Girl Meets World came out, you're like, wow, Topanga got it back.
I mean, like, give a girl a break. Oh my gosh, she's supposed to be just perfect all the time. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, can she get a little bit of a break?
Well, I mean, if it's your job, right?
That's true. That's the thing right there. If it's your job, look at Madonna.
Right.
Madonna got a new project coming out,
Uh-huh.
and like they show her and she like kicking her legs up. I'm like, ain't
Right.
she like 65?
Yeah, she got to be an old lady.
How old is Madonna?
I don't know.
She gotta be.
50s, 60s, I don't know.
She gotta be in her 60s
One of the
right
two.
now.
Right.
Jesus Christ, and she's doing all that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, my mom could never.
Your mom couldn't do
My
it.
mom couldn't do it.
But
like, not
Madonna's
even-
been on the stage forever.
I know it's almost
like,
like,
"I'll never
walking
get
for
out of
her.
that
It's like
stage."
you remember that?
Making out with Britney Spears.
You remember that they got the clip that always go viral every few years, but her on stage singing and then she has the cape on and they pull the cape and they drag her down the stairs. Yeah, she got dragged down the stairs. She was trying to do an outfit change on stage and it was a cape.
And so
And
some
the cape was
dancers,
supposed to snap off.
some
but
dancers
it
had to
didn't.
rip away cape, and then it
Right,
didn't
but
rip
it didn't rip off, and then it just snagged her neck and dragged her
Oh,
down
no.
the staircase.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so horrific.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about being a performer. Eventually, you're gonna fall.
Sooner or later, something gonna happen.
Something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna throw something at you. You're gonna fall, and those are embarrassing moments to be caught on camera.
When's
What?
when do you think who's the big people now?
What, as far as entertainers?
Right.
Right now, I think the bigger people right now is a bunch of them. As far as like the rappers, we go with like the Nicki
Just
Minaj's
who's the
and-
number one pop person?
number one pop person right now? I don't know. Is it Billie Eilish up there?
Yeah, I think
Billie
so.
up there. Taylor Swift stay number one. Like she stay
Taylor
up
Swift,
there.
well, she's got the hits, but
she got the hits.
She's I don't think she's.
Justin Bieber always up there.
He's got a new thing on Amazon.
Oh yeah,
right now.
Justin Bieber is popping out here in these streets.
Uh-huh.
Y'all need to put some respect on his name because
Why?
you guys want to disrespect Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, the bros. Like you guys want to be like, oh, F Justin Bieber or whatever. It's so kiddie.
I just don't think people really care about him.
I think
He's
that
not
a lot
for
of
us.
people care about
He's
him.
not for us.
Why is he not?
He's
if
just
the
not.
music is good.
I've never heard of Justin Bieber song.
Because you're not looking for it. You're not trying.
Right, exactly. Because he doesn't make something that I would listen if I heard
Okay,
it.
you know what? Every Wednesday it's about to be JB Day.
Okay, every Monday's Mac Dre Day.
Oh, okay, no, never mind. I don't like that.
I wanted to start Mac Dre Day when we moved here. You said okay, and then once I get here, I feel like you duped me, Carmen. There was no Mac Dre Day when I moved here.
Because I loved you, and I was like, yeah, that'll be okay. And then the guy was like, fuck that. We can't listen to that every. I can't deal with that every
Mac
week.
Dre Monday. It's perfect. It sounds good.
So that's funny. But what else? So what else happened? I want to talk about these Bosco cheese sticks that I attempted to make.
Last night you wanted to make
Oh my
some
God,
cheese.
it's so embarrassing. Like,
so whenever we were in school, you had them at lunch, right?
yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
I can't create that.
I don't even know where you get them.
I don't know either.
but there was a special day on your school lunch, and then you could go, and there was these breadsticks.
And that cheese ain't regular cheese.
Yeah, the cheese
Because
isn't
I
regular
use
cheese.
regular cheese and it melted all out.
And so these breadsticks, they're like a tube, and then they've got a little like a river of cheese in the middle, and it's a river because when you take a bite, it's not all the way through.
Yeah.
Like it's not a solid piece of cheese. Mm-hmm. It's like just like a little like layer at the bottom of the tube. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like a little like a sewer of cheese.
It's amazing.
Inside of this breadstick. Mm-hmm. They were Bosco breadsticks. Did your school have them in the little paper bag?
I think when we got in high school, they would do it like that, but sometimes they didn't. They just would like put them on a tray or whatever.
Ours had a little paper bag that said Bosco on them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so you grab the bag, and then that's your lunch for the day. Oh, it's so good. They're the best cheese sticks ever. Mm-hmm. Fazoli's got some pretty good breadsticks too, but
I think they fed us for lunch Bosco cheese sticks and marinara sauce, and then like some corn on the side.
they're like, there you go.
With a chocolate milk.
$1.25.
Yeah, you know how ridiculous that is? We ate cheese sticks and marinara, and that was our lunch. Like, what did
Can you
have
imagine
for
going
lunch?
to your parents? Like, what did you have for lunch? Oh, cheese sticks.
Like, they're not helping us at all. They're just like, whatever.
Well, I think George W. he put in like one of the things of like, was he the No Child Left Behind man?
I think so.
Like part of that was like a school dietary issues, and pizza was put on the list as a vegetable because it had tomato sauce. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I had some good meals at school. I used to like school lunch. I don't know why, but I was like, where can I get this after I got out of school? I'm like, how can I recreate this?
How do you do it? And that's what you tried to do yesterday. And yeah, I'll say the flavor of it was pretty close. The flavor was close. However, you tried to make the tube of cheese. Well, I think you made them, I don't know, was it supposed to be two, or were you making little minis?
Little minis.
I think that's probably your
okay. First off, so, the dough was the problem because the dough didn't cook. The cheese melted before the dough cooked.
Right.
So it all oozed out before the dough even cooked.
Uh-huh.
Now what you gonna do?
Maybe you need to freeze the cheese and then put it in the dough.
Didn't say that on the instructions.
Okay.
I think I got a bad recipe.
You gotta make up your own instructions.
I got a bad recipe.
You got a bad
offline,
recipe,
and
that's
I got crazy. I went with it. So yeah, now I just got random like string cheese in the refrigerator for no reason.
It was a string cheese you used? Oh, see, that's your problem.
That's what they tell you to use.
Give me the weekend. I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
All right.
I trust you. I think that you could figure it out.
And you'll get updated next week.
Okay, that sounds good. And I definitely hit the cheese shop while we're on the subject of cheese, and I got a little bit crazy again. Mm-hmm. I got a prosciutto, and I got Kirk some. I think, what did I get you? Some sopressata, some salami.
Yeah.
And
Genoa.
Some Genoa. Yeah. Salami. That one's not so funky. Sometimes we get some really funky ones.
I had some stuff from there that you had gotten me, and it was
super funky.
Yeah, eat it, and wow, I didn't want my shoe.
But I mean, the crazy part is people eat blue cheese. I feel like that's strong too by itself. Just regular blue cheese. Right. Just eating a piece of blue cheese on a cracker is strong.
Oh, I don't know. Don't you put some honey on there?
On a blue cheese? No. I do honey on like cheddars. On like super sharp cheddars. It goes well with the honey.
Okay.
But yeah. I got me a Brie Fermier. And I got another burrata. Right. Because burrata is about to go out of season and I won't be able to find it. Yeah.
Burrata season.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd hear such a thing.
It is,
the burrata's out of the season.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like everything. Mm-hmm. Like right now, it's even specific nuts that are in season right now. I'm not sure what nut it is. It might be a walnut maybe. What's the pumpkin season nut? Pecans or what?
Pecans. I don't know if that's a pumpkin nut.
No, I'm just saying the nuts that's in season with pumpkins and apples. There's apples and pumpkins and squash right now, and then it's specific nuts that's in season. I need to look it up. I have a list on my phone of everything that's in season.
All right.
So I kind of can keep track if I'm asked to make a new recipe or if I have to do something.
You can
school.
say, I know just what's in season.
Yeah, because when I first got to the restaurant that I'm at right now, they like to. The old chef, he liked to keep everything specifically in season. So he wouldn't put things on the menu, like whether it's a fruit or nut or
your
whatever.
restaurant is altogether local.
Yeah.
So basically, they do that so they can keep with the local farmers, right?
Yeah, but we have blueberries, and blueberries ain't all year round. But we have blueberries all year round.
Yeah, but you still have to facilitate the tourists that come to Maine. And they're like, I want a blueberry.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of blueberries, I've been watching this show. It was originally on the History Channel, and it's now on Prime. And I never watched it whenever it was on the History Channel, but it's called Down East Dickerin'.
Down East Dickerin'.
Oh man, it's about these people. One of the guys on there, he picks blueberries, and on the show, because it's on the History Channel, it's got to be educational. They say that the manufactured berries are actually twice the size of farmed berries. So, I think if I see a blueberry that is
I think we got manufactured berries because our blueberries are too large. Ain't no fucking way that them, if that's the
they look like Violet Beauregard. And so this show, it's about these people in Maine, and they don't work a 9 to 5. They do this thing called dickering, and they're dickerers. And basically they exchange goods and services for money. Like they'll go out and they'll try to find, they got this local book. It's called the Uncle Henry's, and it's got all the jobs that people.
I've
local
seen it
stuff
before
nearby.
on stands. You've seen it before on stands.
Yeah, it's probably at the 7-Eleven right now, and right next to the chicken wings, and they they go in there and then they look at their Uncle Henry's and they figure out, I can trade this for this, and then I can buy this thing for that. And you were like, you said to me, see, wouldn't you like to do that? Wouldn't you like to do that for a living? I was like, yeah, that would be really cool. That would be really cool if I could be a dickerer.
It sounds cool, and it looks like if you are a very strategic and smart person that you can probably make some good money on it. I mean, I feel like some of the guys, like one of the guys on there is, in general.
Right.
It's the same thing as people doing couponing and getting all this shit for free.
$2.
They're getting because they actually putting the effort into because they're actually putting the effort into figuring out the algorithm.
There's a process you have to do with coupons. You have to buy stuff that you don't really want. Because I've got a coupon for this, I got to get it now, and I'm going to need it at some point, right?
But with the whole premise of this show that you're talking about, I feel like if you're really good at it, it's something that you can profit off of, because some of the guys on the show, they make really big purchases and they're able to do it. Like the $17,000 just for like the 3 limos that he got on that bargain.
They were. It's a company that they do kayaks, and they have a kayak shop and ATVs and snowmobiles, and they wanted to go to this fair, and they wanted a limo with their kayaks on the top of it. So this guy, he wanted to sell this limo. He was in the limo business.
He wanted to get out of the limo business.
And he had 3 limos, and these guys, they just wanted 1. But he wanted to sell them the Lincoln Navigator limo, but they only wanted like the little town
Lincoln
car. 97 Lincoln Town Car limo. And then he sold them all for the same price, which was exactly what he wanted for the Lincoln.
He just wanted to get rid of them.
He wanted to get rid of them. He wanted out of the thing. And then they end up making their money back, selling the other 2, and they get to keep the 1. And
so I feel like if you are able to make smart decisions and you have a little bit of money to play with because you've been strategic by how you running your business, then I I think that could be something that's profitable. It does seem like a lot of work. It seems like a lot of talking, a lot of work, a lot of going back and forth.
Knowing people. Carmen, I couldn't do it because I'd have to talk to people.
All the time?
All the time. I'd have to know people. I'd have to be like, oh, you know who has a thing that might need the... You gotta be scheme. That's the thing. They're kind of schemers, Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
They know what you want, and they take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And they don't have to pick those people like that on the show, but they should because they're schemers, Carmen.
Yeah.
I'm on to their game.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's one of those things. I remember being younger and, like, growing up and hearing older people like, you got to go in there. You need to take somebody with you because if they gave you that price, you're supposed to ask for a lower one. You're supposed to go back. Right. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, going to get, like, my first car and stuff. They're like, what? You just took the number they gave you? You didn't have... How am I supposed to know if I've never done it before? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what? Yeah. It's a game that you got to play back and forth with this money? Yeah. What is the price? Can I just get...
Can you just tell me what the price is?
Why do I got to be like, hey, let me... It's like, they're going to get over on you. So I started learning that around, like, my teenage years where I'm like, well, so you start hearing people talking about it, grown-ups and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like...
There's a movie, it's called The Life of Brian. It's old Monty Python. And this guy, he's trying to escape from the police. Mm-hmm. And he runs past this beard shop. And he's like, how much for the beard? And he's like, that'll be like $3. And the guy's like, okay, here you go. And he's like, no, you can't give me $3. You got to haggle with me. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, how much do you want for it? And I was like, well, I need about, $3. And he's like, oh, no. So then he makes him argue with him, and then he just ends up stealing it. It's a good time.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. I think that's a really good one.
Oh man, got one episode left though, and then the void opens back up, Carmen. Mm-hmm. Then it's back to bar rescue, I guess.
No, there's so many other things on. Succession is coming back.
Ooh, yeah. This will be...
And On My Block is my show that's coming back.
This will be putting on a Saturday, the day after, this Sunday, the new season of Succession on HBO.
When is it? Next
Sunday.
Saturday?
This Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah. So do we watch, because we binged through the first 2 seasons during the pandemic. I was working at the hotel, we both had mornings off, we'd watch a couple episodes, we'd both go to work, we'd come back, we'd be like, Succession is so good.
It is so good. I feel like we should at least rewatch the last season before we watch the next one. Yeah just because like
Succession is about this family. They own like a news network, right? Or like a series of channels. They own like a Fox, basically. So they got the news, they got a thing, and
they're extremely rich.
Yeah, they're just rich, and the first season is about the father who's going to be his successor, and it's all these siblings. They're competing to be the best, kind of. And also other people in the company. They all
want other people in a company, as well as the kids. They all want to be in line to take over this extremely large, wealthy empire. Right. And they know that their dad is planning on stepping down. Their dad feels like he wants a kid to take over that is worthy of it. But he also don't want to give it up.
He doesn't want to give up the power.
He doesn't want to give up the power, and none of his kids is proven to him that they're worthy of taking it over. In his eyes, yeah. So they're really fighting for nothing.
Right. It's great. And the last season ended on a beautiful ending, and I can't wait to see what happens next, Carmen.
I know, yeah. It's gonna be. Oh, so, you know who's in it? Tell them who's in it. Macaulay Culkin, little brother.
Kieran Culkin.
I love him.
Oh man,
I like Macaulay better. Don't get me wrong, he the GOAT. But Kieran is all right.
Yeah, but he actually works though, right?
Yeah, I don't care. Macaulay Culkin ain't gotta work. He's so amazing as an actor. And isn't he on American Horror Story right now? So yeah, he got jobs.
He might be on a couple episodes.
Oh yeah, he's on there. So don't be talking about Macaulay.
I don't know. This American Horror Story looks kind of lame.
I think they were talking about him. I think people were talking about they didn't like him, or they didn't like some of the things he said about something. It was something with him that people didn't like.
Well, yeah, Karen Culkin's in it. Brian Cox, the original Hannibal Lecter. Some other people too. That's a great
Karen
show.
probably look at Macaulay.
Alan Ruck, Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, and all the people, like, just the way that they're like humiliated, and the way that they talk, they got like a language, and then like everybody's telling each other to fuck off.
It's literally like
And-
just seeing the, like, if you were involved in like this rich, power hungry, crazy family, and it's I think it's really, they do a really good job.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah, it's good. I can't wait. I can't wait for the new season of Succession.
And then they have like
then-
they have every kid as like, okay, you have the daughter like this, you have the son who is like not really good with the ladies, but he got money and power, but he's not really like the smooth, and
He's not a social man, but he knows business.
he's not the man on the big man on campus. He's not the cool kid that what do you call it? Prom king. He's not that guy. But then his little brother is like the cool kid.
Yeah, he's a cool kid, but
Yeah.
he's a weirdo too.
Yeah.
and then the daughter's
I forgot
like,
the things he was doing. Yeah, he's super weird.
the
His character.
daughter's married to like this is doofus man that the
Yeah.
father doesn't approve of. Oh man,
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I like that show a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, we got some stuff. Once you finish off this show, like there's gonna be some stuff that opens up.
Yeah.
I like On My Block.
Right.
It's another, Kirk like to call it a teeny bopper show. So,
Yeah.
but it's a really good show. That's a good one. And what else? So I was talking to you about this stuff that came out in the news recently. We were talking about Dave Chappelle earlier, but I was telling you about the 18 NBA players that just got indicted right now because they were doing a healthcare fraud.
Right.
So pretty much what they were doing is writing like invoices or writing whatever you call it when you send in like, hey, I got my teeth fixed, and then claims. Yeah, they were filing claims with the NBA for health stuff, for getting like root canals and crowns on their teeth, and
they were getting money from it.
they were getting money from it, but they wasn't
From the
actually
insurance company.
right, but not actually getting the
But
work.
they weren't
done.
getting the work done.
Right.
So the money was going to them, but the money was staying with them
Right.
because they didn't actually get any work done.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're doing that,
And it's 18 NBA players. Were they all on the same team?
no.
No?
It was 18 separate NBA players that
Were
was
they
doing
young
it.
people, old people?
They were former NBA players.
Oh.
Former NBA players.
Not
So like
in the
Shannon
roster
Brown.
today.
No.
Okay.
Oh, they're older. So I mean, not all of them. Some of them might have played for a little
Shaq.
bit and got out. So
The Birdman.
no, Shannon Brown though, he was part of it.
I don't
It
know
was
who
him.
that is.
He was married to Monica. She's the R&B singer. Anyway, Shannon Brown was popular. I can't remember where he's from either, but other people know him. And yeah, they're doing this fraud, and it's like $4 million between 18 people. I think it averages out to like a little over 200 and some thousand per person if
Right.
they equally did it.
It's
I'm
a new
sure
house.
some people got more and some people didn't.
Right.
But yeah, now they've all been indicted for that, and they're about to get in trouble for it.
Right.
And they said that the reason that they got caught is because things were misspelled on the like actual
They misspelled their
documentation.
name. They put
It was
in the
just
wrong
little
dates.
things here and there, like
Right.
date wrong, like, or they got a date on there where like you're in another country and you're documented in another country, but the date say you was getting a root canal in LA.
Right.
And so like once they start investigating it, because it was somebody sent them paperwork that was a little bit off. And then they start looking into it. Once they start digging, they found more stuff off. And then it was a whole investigation, and now they all indicted.
That's it.
Yeah.
Gonna get them all.
So everyone's laughing at them because they're like, all you have to do is spell the stuff right. Like somebody
Stupid
didn't
basketball players,
somebody
right?
didn't spell their stuff right and got
Right.
everybody in trouble. Are you crazy? Isn't that silly?
It is silly.
Yeah. I mean, people do whatever they want to do. Like people.
And somebody, for them to do it, somebody must have. So there had to be a ringleader, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody was like,
I think
hey.
that they announced on a Breakfast Club who was supposedly the ringleader, but there was somebody who was
It's probably the Birdman. You know who that is?
Larry Bird.
No, not Larry Bird. The guy.
I'm like, is he still alive?
No, he was a basketball player. He's all tatted up. He had like Free Bird like tattooed on his neck.
Mm-mm.
You know who he is? He was working. He was like in the NBA, and then like he started working at like a car wash or something. And then they're like, "Hey, you want to come back?" And then he came back.
I'm trying to think of
That's who I blame.
Yeah. Maybe it was him. Maybe he was like, I need to I need this healthcare money.
Right.
I don't care if it's, but it's just one of those things where, like, if you made millions in your career,
People don't take care
not
of it.
all of them did, but a lot of them made millions of dollars. Like, I'm sure all of them made millions, but like you might have been a bench player that got 300,000 a game or something. Either way, you still made a lot of money.
Right.
And then what?
It's
And
hard
then
to
you're
keep-
stealing thousands, pennies.
Right. It runs out. It runs out. You don't know how like money like just disappears, you know?
Well, I think that when you're younger, if you don't have a family or a good base behind you to guide you, and if you get lost in a hype and not able to listen to the people around you, especially as a young person, 20 years old, you got all this money and all this influence around you, and your parents are like, don't do that. You're like, oh, shoot, I'm grown.
Yeah, I can do
First
it.
off, I can just go fly over here and you can stay over there. Like,
Well, so as an example, like how like things can. Okay, so I've been working the past like year to like rebuild my credit, not rebuild it, but build it. You know, because I just never have had any like credit. Like I got a car at some point, and you know got paid off, and then that was it. You know, like that was all I ever had. So I went into the beginning of last year. I said, you know what? I'm going to get a credit card. I'm going to work on getting my credit back in line, right? And because I didn't have a history of any sort of credit, I had to get like a secured card. So you have to like put in the money that is your credit. And I did well with that, you know, and then they're like, okay, well, we're going to give you double. You know, we'll credit you what you put in, but we'll still keep your money also as collateral, right? So then they doubled my credit line,
right.
but half of it was mine already.
Right.
And then after I did well enough with that, right, they gave me back the money that I originally put in, and they said, well, that's yours now. We'll give it to you by a statement, you know, credit. So whenever you pay this much, you will take it out of that bank,
Right.
you know. Did well with that. They upped the line again, right? And then I was watching this show on the Netflix, right? Oh, we circling back to the Netflix.
Like,
called
I mean, it always comes
Money
back to Netflix.
Explained, it was called, and it was about credit cards. And basically, I'm the worst customer for a credit card because I pay my balance totally every month. So they don't make any money off of interest to me. I have a card that doesn't cost any fees, you know? So they don't make anything off of me. Basically, I just use their money and I give it back to them.
And then you build your credit
Right.
in return.
I build the credit in return.
And they get nothing from it, really.
Now, the thing is, what the credit card wants you to do is they want you to get kind of comfortable, and then you spend the money, and then you can't pay it back. So then you have to give them the minimal payments, or you know, less than the full amount. Then they can charge you the interest, fees, everything.
Yep.
Well, they just like the original amount of credit that I had from them. They just gave me, it's like 6 times that. They put it into an amount that, like, if I had to pay that back fully in a month, it would hurt. Like, you know, so then I'd have to be like, I don't know if I should do that.
Yeah, and then money is enticing,
and
so
that
they're
money is
assuming-
enticing. So like, whenever you have that opportunity for it, you got to think about it. You're like, I can't do that because it actually comes with damages. Those people, they needed the money because they probably weren't smart with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you break it down very well. I feel like I'm one of those people who definitely I left the house very young and joined the military at 17, and I was like getting cars and stupid shit. Like, I'm getting a car that's not worth the $5,000. I'm getting a loan for a car for $5,000. The car not worth $5,000. It breaks down on me 3 months later because I have no clue what I'm doing, and I put my credit in jeopardy and mess my credit up on little stupid things like that, like my first car, and like mainly my credit was just cars, like stupid decisions and deals that I made, like on a car. Like, that's the biggest thing. Other than that, I don't have anything too crazy. Maybe a hospital bill here or there, you know what I mean? But still, like, just those bad decisions with cars and not understanding interest rates and like what costs what, and just buying off an impulse because you want something and not thinking about the consequences of it is is something that I have to pay for now. It's something that I have to watch now and get in line. Backtracking, even my license not being paid for, like getting tickets and being like, put it on my tab. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
and then
good.
now I just
It's
had
good
to.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, now I had to pay everything off, and I'm like, I gotta pay all these tickets off. I really wish I would have been smarter and like listened to my parents, because they were trying to tell me, and I thought I knew everything.
Right.
So
Yeah, you live and learn.
yeah, I know. Fortunately for you, you were in a good situation where you were on an island for a while, so like that blocks out a lot of that stuff that you could have had, far as credit and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's awesome. I think you're doing great.
Sure.
Well, is that it for us?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you again for listening to another episode of the Sweet Gravy Podcast. If you have any questions or suggestions, please go to sweetgravypod@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube and every other streaming platform.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.